I painfully watched the Phillies game last night. It was a nice win for them. They came back in a later inning, start bashing a little bit. 17 hits. Big home runs, Bohm, Schwarber. 4-hit night for Sosa. I hate watching bad baseball teams. I can't stand it. Well, I will never watch the Pirates and Rockies ever again.
Yeah, the Rockies are pretty bad, man. They're pretty bad.
It's impossible to get that bad.
Well, it's not impossible because there's a lot of bad teams.
They got two players in the whole team.
But yeah, they are bad. The Phils should sweep. The Rockies are 8-39. Like you should win more games accidentally.
It's unfathomable how bad some of the teams in this baseball league are.
Yeah, they really are. But look, Phils showed up, 17 hits, 7 runs in the last 2 innings. 8 of their runs came in the last 3.
They even got away with mediocre bullpen guys getting through clean innings.
Yes, they did. Well, these guys may not. They need them to be more than mediocre now with the Alvarado news. But yeah, Ross comes in.
Mediocre relief pitchers can never be exceptional.
Your buddy Tanner Banks.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned something.
They can get by occasionally. They can never be exceptional.
Talking about the mediocre. Mm-hmm. You are not a huge Edmundo Sosa everyday player guy.
No.
But every time the guy has gotten an opportunity, he's performed. He's now hitting 386 on the season.
Wait, excuse me. Did he get an opportunity to play full-time? He's performing exactly because of what I said.
So you
pick your spots with him.
Here's my question for you.
Uh-huh.
Would you try to convince another team that Sosa could be an everyday player?
No, you need Sosa.
You would not put him in a trade deal?
No, you need him. He's a valuable component to play occasionally when you need to give guys rest. You need to give guys breaks against left-handed pitchers. He's valuable that way. But he's not valuable as a full-time player.
So there's nowhere to put him either full-time. But if the trade deadline's approaching and Dombrowski's on the phone with another team and you have an opportunity to get a high-leverage bullpen arm.
Well, he's not untouchable. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he's not the type of guy that I'd want to trade.
I agree. I wouldn't want to trade him either because he is that valuable bench piece, and he seems to be, when we talk about culture with Nick Sirianni, I think his attitude, Sosa's, is great for the clubhouse.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make him untouchable either. And I know you keep saying he's not an everyday guy, and you are probably right, but every opportunity they give him, he comes through.
There's something missing here, Ray, in translation. Every opportunity they give him is that they give him on a part-time basis. That's why he comes through. Where is your argument here?
Well, last year, when Turner got hurt and Sosa was your everyday shortstop, he performed again.
A little bit.
But
not on a full-time basis.
But how do you know? How do you know but for giving the guy an everyday opportunity, which you can't give him here?
Why can't you just leave well enough alone? Why can't you? Why do you always have to stretch the envelope?
Because the guy's been good.
The guy's not good on a full-time basis.
Based off of...
Where are you going to play him? Full-time?
Based off of what? What he did with St. Louis?
You going to play him in left field?
No, I'm saying you can't. You can't play him every day here. I agree with you. You can't.
Well, then what are we talking about? Why are you wasting my time?
Because...
Look out and give me a bagel with sausage and no egg.
You see, I'm nice enough to bring in a sandwich, and now I've turned into
You're wasting my time now with this argument,
boy.
with this Sosa thing.
What I'm saying is, can you convince another team? We are limited. If you don't want to give up prospects,
sure you can convince.
Would you try to convince another team?
If another team needs a shortstop, maybe a third baseman, maybe a second baseman, yeah. But I don't know. To me, it's maybe. I'll just say that. If they're going to offer you a really good relief pitcher for Sosa, I guess you got to do it. But then you have no backup player. There's nobody in the minor leagues that you can bring in here to be that Sosa role.
Miller's not ready. I would love to see Sosa get an opportunity to be an everyday player.
Why? What do you care? He helps the team as a part-time player here.
There's just nowhere to put him.
What is your obsession with him being a full-time player?
He's been unbelievable this year.
He's been unbelievable as a part-time player. See, this is the kind of thing that makes me go crazy, Ray.
These are the
type of arguments that Bill drives me nuts.
Because it would be nice to see Sosa get an opportunity to be an everyday player.
Why do you care about him getting when he serves his purpose here? Why would you care about his personal goal? That's not for you to determine. That's for him and his agent. You can leave well enough alone. He's a good part-time player for the Phillies.
He is. But what I'm saying is,
your argument doesn't make any sense.
You assume that because he was a part-time player before, that he could never elevate his game to a full-time.
Not here. I said here. I don't care if he could be a full-time player somewhere else. It's irrelevant to me.
Well, it's not irrelevant because you may be able to put him into a trade package to fix this bullpen. That's my point. There's nowhere for Sosa to go here.
A contending team really has to be desperate. They have to have lost the starting infielder for them to want him. And, they're just not going to make – he's not a good enough player where you make room for him. He's a solid bench player.
He's a really good bench player right now. Like, I'm serious. I know you keep saying he can't be an everyday guy. I'm not convinced he can't be.
I didn't say that, okay? I don't care if he can. All I know is that he can't be here. And you're trying to twist my brain like a pretzel. And I hate when you do that. I couldn't care less whether he could be a full-time player somewhere else. My sense is no, that they pegged him into his position where he's a part-time player who can fill in as a utility player somewhere. He doesn't have an everyday position.
No, he doesn't. And the experiment in left field lasted one game.
All right, let's go to Tony in West Philly. Tony, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Tony?
Mikey Miss.
What's going on, Tony? How you doing, Tony?
How y'all doing, man? I don't know what a lot of these callers are talking about as far as Coach with his personality. I mean, we done had Buddy Ryan, Charlie Manuel. I mean, Nick gives me, Italian South Philly, vibes, and I'm good with that. He's like a Philadelphian to me.
Really?
I think where people
he doesn't give me Italian South Philly vibes at all.
He give me.
He's a New York guy. He never fails to remind you of where he's from.
Okay, well, I mean, he reminds me of most of the the South Philly guys that I know. Like they cool guys, but I think where Nick is losing it with the fan base is that we know it's not his offense. I mean, we had two offensive coordinators outside of his quote unquote offense that has had success with him. And Patullo, I think that's offensive coordinator name, Patullo.
Yeah, the new guy.
Yeah, that's his guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that's his guy, and there's a vote of confidence from Howie allowing him to go back and then have his offensive coordinator run the offense again. And if it go wrong, we know that he's not capable of running the offense on his own. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little uncomfortable with that because me personally, I would rather have had an experienced offensive coordinator outside of the organization running the offense.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know if people care that it's not his offense. I think people care about the winning, and if he's a CEO head coach who can get people to play for him and can organize things with everybody on the coaching staff, why shouldn't that be enough?
Well, he's like Mike Tomlin. I mean, it's cool, Mike, until we visited 2 years ago when the offensive coordinator is not using the talent right, and then it falls on Nick Sirianni. Like, okay, Nick, this is your guy. What can you do now?
Yeah, but here's the question, Tony. He's won a Super Bowl. And you hear it now. You sense it. We're reading all these comments. He's not 100% accepted. He just got a big contract that's making him one of the highest paid coaches in the league, and still people don't really gravitate to him.
He's like Mike Tomlin now, where, okay, you won the Super Bowl, but the offense has been bad. He has to continue to win, and he has to continue to win to justify his position here as head coach.
Okay, all right. I got you. So you have to win again. For him to win everybody over, he has to win again. He won one. He's been to another one.
Yeah, I don't like the Mike Tomlin comparison either because Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in 9 years. Like, Sirianni's had playoff success. 2 out of 3 seasons, they went to a Super Bowl.
This is a question for you, man. Why do you think, when you see it, it's clear? Why aren't people seeing it as clear as you, Bill? This is your show today, Bill. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni gets an extension. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles announced yesterday that they're giving head coach Nick Sirianni a multi-year extension. Sirianni was heading into the final year of his initial 5-year contract. Jeff McClain of the Philadelphia Inquirer told Kincade Salciunas this morning that he believes this contract tacks on 3 or 4 more years.
They said multi-year extension. My guess is 3-4 years, something like that. Trying to dig up a little more on that. And then I guess the other question is how much. It's got to be as much as any other coach. Top guys are getting paid, so you're thinking double digits per year in the millions, 10 to 12 possibly.
We'll hear from Nick Sirianni and other members of the Eagles organization coming up at a 12:45 presser. Last night, the Phillies rallied for 8 runs in the final 3 innings to beat the Rockies at 9-3 in Colorado. Alec Boehm, Kyle Schwarber, and Edmundo Sosa all homered in the win. That pushed the Phillies into first place in the NL East. The Phillies and Rockies are back in action again tonight at 8:40. Jesus Luzardo getting the start for the Phils tonight. This update is brought to you by the local Rheem Pro partners at thereamteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, RHEEM. Find your Rheem Pro partner at thereamteam.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.